You with Early Edition this Wednesday morning, News Talk ZB. Well, as if this week's not tough enough and we're not racked up enough already, now they want to carve up heritage houses for more development. This new bill aims to force councils to allow more dense housing, right? This new intensification rule, it'll allow buildings of up to 3 stories on most sites in cities without any need for resource consent. This is going to start happening from August 2022. It's basically a green light to development and a way of addressing housing supply. Councils have previously, of course, made land access incredibly difficult, and this turns the tables, takes more power off the councils, reduces all those impediments to progress, and that in and of itself is probably no bad thing. What might be ruffling the feathers, particularly of the latte set this morning, however, is whether the snazzy new drive for development winds up on their front doorstep. There's this councillor in South Auckland who said it absolutely does need to include wealthier suburbs. So those sitting pretty in a 200-year-old villa in Remuera or Kelburn or Fendleton may well be looking down the barrel of a 3-storey development going up next door. In some areas, it can be up to 6 stories. How palatable will this be for them? I can tell you it'll go down like a cup of cold sick. Low-density houses in suburbs and metropolitan areas are already feeling the squeeze with infill housing and developments like apartment complexes springing up around them. A green light to more of it, I think, will have people worried. I mean, I do get both sides of the argument. On the one hand, we absolutely do need more housing, no question, and we do need it to happen quickly if it can. But on the other hand, who's actually overseeing whether quiet neighbourhoods turn into bustling, ugly concrete jungles? You know, threats to remove heritage overlays or to reclassify them risks losing not just the history of suburban areas, but also the architecture, the cityscape, the urban landscape, and the design aesthetic. If sprawling bungalows lovingly maintained in Merivale or Mount Albert or Māori Hill suddenly have to make way for 3 or 6-storey high concrete apartment buildings, then what does that do to the value of an area? You know, will this devalue already established homes? Will there be a flight to certain areas, you know, thus rearranging the whole current makeup of suburbs? You know, are you sitting in a low-density, wealthier, beautiful, leafy old suburb thinking you're just sitting pretty, and in fact, now you want to get the hell out? Or will the value of your ancient villa on a 1,000 square metre lot actually go through the roof? Because they'll soon be like hen's teeth. And how much actually is it costing to throw your 3 stories up on land in wealthier, low-density suburbs anyway? You know, where by the time you're done, if you think about it, the price of the finished development probably would be out of reach of any first-time buyer. So is this going to pump the market or pump the brakes? I imagine it's a bit of a gamble that'll have heritage homeowners in particular feeling a little uneasy this morning.
Hawkesby. The voices of New Zealand cricket are back. Brian Waddle, Jeremy Coney on the front foot.
The Black Caps opening match of the World T20 Championship features this week, along with bowling coach Shane Bond. 2 personal milestones for players in the first round of the Plunket Shield. Bondi is also the subject of this week's Remember This from the 2003 World Cup in South Africa.
Download the latest podcast now on iHeartRadio, powered by News Talk ZB.